Alright, so today we're doing a couple things. This is the wife's car. As you can see, it is an absolute disaster in here. All kinds of nasty. It's gonna get detailed. All these seats are all stained up. I don't even know how this is even possible. This might be dog drool, believe it or not, from when we took our dog to breed. Was unsuccessful, by the way. It's a lot harder than they make it sound. Like, oh yeah, you got to neuter your dog, it'll get pregnant. Like, yeah, we intentionally tried to breed it and still failed. Anywho, I digress. This car's a mess. It's gonna get fixed today. Got the homie Jacob right here.
Yo.
See the homie Jacob? We're gonna put in some work right now. You'll see when we're done, it's gonna look brand new. In the meantime, I gotta change the oil on this monster. We've got a gender reveal tomorrow, so I'm gonna change my oil. It's overdue. I don't want to be doing a burnout with all kinds of colored smoke and suddenly, you know, add a new color of smoke when my motor pops. So, be doing an oil change on this. Alright, here we have the finished car. Seats are still wet, but it's looking brand new. Just gonna let it sit with the doors open for a while and dry itself out. But yeah, beautiful clean interior. All of the filth has been removed. Not full of black water inside these seats anymore. Once it dries, there won't be any spotting of any kind. It's like a brand new car. Alright, so I got the oil done on the Camaro. My buddy finished up with the wife's car. It came out fantastic. Then now it's already the following Thursday. We were filming that on Saturday. I've gotten my order in from LC Engineering. This is the new clutch and flywheel for my truck. My truck's clutch and flywheel. Well, really the clutch is on its way out, but I do remember that we did something wonky where we jacked up one of the threads that holds the pressure plate to the flywheel. I was young, I took risks. It held up all these years, but I figured I would replace it while I'm at it. So I have ordered the LC bundle, which includes the clutch and an aluminum flywheel for the 2RZ. Let's go ahead and open this so you guys can check it out. Oh man, make sure I don't cut myself doing this mess. Actually, go ahead and just pull this out of here and make it easier. Don't throw this away just yet. I include the screws in here. These look like flywheel bolts. Let's go ahead. I'm assuming this is the flywheel. Yep, it's the flywheel. There it is. LC Engineering's 11-pound flywheel. Really light. Pretty nice little toy here. Can't wait to get this in the truck. Let's see how it performs. I also can't wait to get out the one that's in the truck so that I can compare it. I'm not 100% certain, but I could have sworn that all these flywheels for the Tacoma are exactly the same. They all the aluminum ones weigh 11 pounds. Could just be that they're all a perfect replica of the factory flywheel, just made in aluminum. Not 100% certain. Some of this is pretty much exactly the same as it was on the Fidanza flywheel. Some of these pins I don't remember being there on the Fidanza. They might be, but definitely want to check that out, compare the two, see if they're the same or not. I have a sneaking suspicion they may have just bought the design and machined it themselves, as they did with the turbo manifold for the 2RZ. It was originally a Steed Speed. They developed it along with Steed Speed, and then eventually they took over the manufacturing, so could be the case. I see the pins, I remember these pins, cool. So probably be installing that this weekend and showing you guys a whole install video. I'll probably do it in segments, probably like one video about how to remove the transmission, right? In case you have to take it out for some other reason. Then clutch and flywheel swap. And this also includes like the rear main seal, so I'll probably do a video for that. Whenever you do this stuff, make sure you get on your bolts. This comes with it. Last time I did this, I used forged ARPs. I think these are probably more like OEM bolts. The difference is very little. I was just being fancy with the ARP stuff. At the end of the day, like, this is actually lighter than the factory steel flywheel, so the bolts will do just fine. If you can get ARP, it's nicer. You know, fancy stuff. I like using fancy hardware. Let's go ahead and open up the clutch. Alright, these, I'm not sure if these are pressure plate bolts. There should be 6. Yeah, these might be the pressure plate bolts. This is the rear main seal. Then this is a crankshaft repair sleeve. Do not use with 2-piece seal unless noted in catalog. It's recommended that a shaft for 45 degrees wide be on the receiving edge. Not really sure what the heck I'm going to do with this. I don't foresee or hope I will not have to repair my crankshaft where the seal goes, so that might just be a precaution. I've got my catalog here and they threw in some stickers. Always love it when they throw in stickers. That's going on the toolbox for sure. Thank you, LCE, appreciate that. And here is my clutch. Really excited for this. Let's go ahead and pop it out of this big box if I can. Doesn't look like it wants to play without breaking. I have to break that slightly. Let's see what we got in here. Assuming this pops out somehow. Okay, oh yeah, it's the same on this side. It's a very unusual box design, but I guess it works. Nice padding. And here we have my clutch kit. So this is probably a throwout bearing. There's a pilot bearing in here. Then let's see. I've got the alignment tool, and here is my clutch disc and pressure plate. It's like glued down to the bottom of this. It's pretty interesting packaging design. This is a fancy red colored clutch. Everything looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna package this stuff back together and then go ahead and get ready, you know, do the basic steps to be able to get this stuff in, which is drain the fluids, undo the bolts, and then pull the transmission out. You guys will get a video of that. Now here's the final update that I have for you guys. Don't mind the washing machines in the background. It would not be an episode of my YouTube channel without some washing machine noise in the background. So here we have the last update that I have for now on this video, and that is this K24 Z3, I want to say. As you can see, it's the one that doesn't take a normal exhaust manifold. Basically, my cousin has a TSX. It's automatic. He wants to switch to manual, so he went and acquired this K24 Z3 with a manual because he bought like a scrap one from the auction, the TSX, and had a local shop dismantle this for him and get him everything he needed: harnesses, ECUs, axles, etc. He's got all that with him. I've just got the transmission and the motor itself here. So that is going to go. I'm not 100% certain what he wants to do, if he wants to take his motor and build it and then couple this manual to it, or if he just wants to build this motor and drop it in with manual into his car. But either way, at the end of this process, there's going to be a spare K24 Z3, which is going to come to me, and that means something around here is going to get K-swapped. Now, because it's currently in the back of my Tacoma, you might assume that it's going into my Tacoma. I considered doing a K-swap into my truck a long time ago, many years ago. There's a guy that's done it and has won a bunch of drag racing championships. I'm sure you guys know which one I'm talking about. He's got like the primer gray color that's very popular now. They call it, I forget what they call them. Toyota calls it cement, their version of it. Everyone has one, Nardo, etc. But I don't think this is going to go in the Tacoma, just because I would like to turbo that motor and work with the motor that's in there. It's also a 2.4, 24, but it's a Toyota 2RZ. People have made in excess of 1,200 horsepower. It's very popular in Australia, New Zealand, etc. Paradise Racing builds them, and they can make a ton of power. So I don't see any advantage in taking it out and swapping it, especially if I'm going to do boost. Obviously, the K24 is probably one of the better motors for boost. Look at the size of the valve cover. Like the heads on this thing can really flow. You can have massive cams in here. Make 500 horsepower out of one of these things naturally aspirated. Not sure how many times you have to rebuild it, after a few passes, but how often you got to rebuild. But the point is, this is a very good motor, very powerful motor, and this particular variant is very easy in comparison to the standard ones for swapping into a Mazda Miata. So now you know what I'm getting at. I'm probably going to K-swap my Miata. I always wanted to, and then I was like, I probably won't get around to it. And, well, opportunity presented itself. Free K24. So, very soon, you may see the beginnings of a K-swap series in my Miata. But first, we got to get the truck running, get a couple things done, get this garage cleaned up so I can get the Camaro and the Miata back in here. And then once that's done, and I do the build series for my cousin's TSX, then I'll go ahead and do a series for the Miata. So you guys might get to see turbo, potentially even all-wheel drive, fully built K-swap, manual K-swap, TSX build first, and then after that, K-swap Miata. I'll definitely turbo, because that's just begging for a turbo. It's so simple. You don't need any fancy manifolds, just like a little elbow that grabs the turbo. It makes it so simple to do. This motor stock in my Miata would be plenty fast. I have a first gen 1990 NA. It weighs exactly like 2,100 pounds. It's the most basic one you can get. There's no power anything, right? So with this motor in there, it's a missile. And with turbo, it's a nuclear missile. So that should be pretty fun. Just giving you guys a heads up so you can look forward to that. If you've enjoyed, the kind of stuff that I do, feel free to like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you know when I post up another video. If you have any comments, any feedback, feel free to leave that in the comments section. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.